Okay, y'all, I'm here with the review of The Real Housewives of Dallas, episode 2. Shout out to everybody who's been watching my reviews. I realized I'm like probably, I think, one of two people, or maybe the only person that really reviews this show. So, y'all get in the comments, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all talk to me, I talk back. Let's get into it. So, we start off where we left off last week, which is with the doctor, because I'm just calling her doctor. With the doctor, Dr. Tiffany, with her pretty much telling Brandy about herself, like telling her about herself or her story, and pretty much why what Brandy said was hurtful or whatever. Now, here's the thing. Last week, I did give Brandy a little, I don't say leeway, but I gave it to her that maybe she really was sorry. However, in this scene, Brandy, not one tear dropped. Not one tear. The eyes got a little misty, but the way that you were acting like you were crying versus the tears that were not there didn't really add up to me. And some people are feeling like Brandy is not really mad. She's not really upset because of what she said. She's upset because she got caught. I think both can be true because she clearly didn't feel no way about it until somebody called her out about it. But you want to know what? That's okay. This is what I'm here for. This is what people like Dr. Tiffany here for, because we're always going to call you white woman out when you're out of pocket, because nobody else the fuck will. So we will, okay? So, I also found it interesting that Dr. Tiffany talked about, she was like, even now as a doctor, when I'm helping patients, or if I want to go help a patient, there's people telling me, no, I don't want to catch the coronavirus, like, don't let her help me. Just on some racist shit. So, again, you have to be careful with what comes out of your mouth, and especially, Brandy, now that you are on this show. Now, granted, Real Housewives of Dallas is probably one of the least watched housewives, is what I realized, but you still have a platform, and you still have a responsibility, so do the fuck better, okay? So then, Stephanie comes outside to come and check on her or whatever. There is no tears again, but I just found this so funny that she's like, everybody forgives you. Everybody forgives you. Again, not that Leanne was right, but why ain't nobody talking about forgiving Leanne? It makes me mad. Kary pisses me off. Oh my gosh. Like, just the way that y'all was so fucking quick to give Brandy a pass, but not Leanne. It just boggles my mind, and it just leans to the fact that y'all was hating on Leanne, in my humble opinion, because Leanne was that bitch on this show, and none of you hoes could take. None of you hoes, all of y'all hoes was scared of her. Y'all was scared of her. Ain't nobody scared of Brandy. Ain't nobody scared of Brandy. That's why. Ain't nobody scared of her. Fucking over it. Pissing me off, okay? So then we go over to Cameron, and she's, they're putting up the sign for her house. I think that Cameron is very boring too. That's just my opinion. But um they're putting up this sign, and for their house to be sold, their house is going to be selling for $4.3 million, which at first I was like, yes ma'am, okay, 4.3 million. But then her husband said that, because pretty much what happened is that the sale for the house fell through, so they pretty much have to stay. Her husband said that he was like, going forward, like, I will tell you when all of this is done. If y'all don't, this is Game of Thrones on my TV, like, don't pay attention. But matter of fact, I don't know if it's like distracting or not. There we go. Yeah, her husband was like, I'm not gonna tell you until the sale is actually closed, because I don't need you walking around. He's sick and tired. Like, I will not be surprised if the next divorce, like if any divorce that comes from this show, it'll be them two. Cause her husband is fed the fuck up with the way that she acts. You could tell he's just fed up. Like these past 2 episodes, you can tell he's just really fed up with like the way she act, her stuck upness about everything. Like she just acts super bitchy for no reason. But he said pretty much that when the sale fell through, that she was crying. She was crying for 2 weeks about it. This is what I need people to understand. I need, especially people with a lot of money, I need you to read the fucking room. I mean, granted. Y'all have a lot of money, we all know that. But for you to be crying because you have to stay for another 2 weeks in your $4.3 million house. It's not like, oh, I lost my house, the sale fell through, and I have to be out of here, within the next 2 weeks, and I don't know where I'm going to stay. You're fucking crying during the middle of a panoramic, okay? Because you have to stay in a $4.3 million house and not go to, I'm pretty sure, probably a $10 million house. Are you kidding me, Cameron? Read the fucking room. And that's probably why he's annoyed. Like, are you serious? Like, you're beyond fucking spoiled, and I'm telling you right now, you keep it up, your husband is going to leave you. He's going to leave you. Cause right now I look at her husband these whole past seasons she's been on her. I've been looking at her husband like her little do boy, and I'm pretty sure it gives me like, Cam is like really tall and model-esque, and he's a little bit on the shorter side, so it always gives me like he's just so like thankful and just excited that he even has somebody like Cameron. But at this point, you could tell he's fed the fuck up. You're annoying as shit, Cameron, and I mean that from the bottom of my damn heart. You're fucking annoying. So then we go to Deandra. And Deandra is talking to her shaman, okay? And she pretty much is telling us how, did you say 7? He got 7 kids? No. When she was 7, her daddy got remarried. Sorry, I was trying to read correctly. When she was 7, her daddy got remarried or whatever, and then when him and his new wife, they had like a little boy or whatever. And so when he died or whatever, there was 2 separate wills. There was a will that was specifically like for his wife at the time and their child, and then there was another will that was for her. And so they had to go to court pretty much. You know how white people do, they be fighting over this money in these wills or whatever. It pretty much came to the fact that she ended up winning, and pretty much how it put like a really, really big strain on the family, how she really hasn't talked to her stepmother or her brother. But recently her stepmother texted her and told her that her brother just had a baby, making her auntie. So now she's kind of like, I don't know if I should reach back out. I'm thinking that I should. So that's what Deandra's, I guess, storyline will kind of be around. Maybe not the whole season, but that's what a lot of it has to do with. Okay, then we go to Dr. Tiffany's house, okay? And the first person that gets there is, who gets there first? Is it Deandra? I think Deandra does get there first. Yes, Deandra gets there first, okay? And she takes her downstairs and shows us her winery. It's beautiful. I love the little glass that shows like the rock of, them like digging underneath ground. So dope. Love that. And pretty much saying how her husband like has started off, like he started up a wine business like not that long ago, whatever. Very, 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 very beautiful. Stephanie ends up coming over, and takes them on a tour of her house. Beautiful, 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 beautiful house. Takes them into her closet. Her closet is like top fucking notch. Now, this is what I don't understand, Stephanie. This is where I have to come for you at. Stephanie's talking about I would never bring somebody into my closet and do all of this. I just think it's obnoxious. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Stephanie. We are on the Real Housewives. Period. The whole point of the Real Housewives is to show, and granted, I did just get on Cam or whatever about her and her wealth, but it wasn't, my thing with Cam is it's not that, it's not about her and her wealth. It's about you complaining about some shit that you lucky that other people don't even fucking have. That's my problem. I don't have a problem if Cam was to show us her new house or to show us the house that she has. And what I don't understand, like I said, this is the Real Housewives. The whole point of the show is to show the upper echelon, the rich of the rich housewives. That's what it's supposed to be about. The show has always been on materialistic shit. That's why I feel like people have such a problem with going to Real Housewives of Potomac with Dr. Wendy, because Dr. Wendy is more so about her education and not more so about what she physically has. And to me, Stephanie, it comes off like you're hating, because I know for a fact, and I know for a fact, Tiffany's house is not the first Real Housewives, like, that's not the first house tour that we have been on. It's not the first house tour in Real Housewives that we has ever been on. She's not the first person's closet that we've been in. When you first got on the show, Stephanie, you gave us a tour of your house. When you threw that baby shower for Brandy or whatever, yes, you threw a baby shower for her, but you also wanted to throw it in your nice house, in your new nice house. So to me, Stephanie, you're coming off like a hater. Because to me, the way she was walking around, it wasn't like, oh yeah, bitch, and I got that and y'all hoes on. She was literally just taking you on a tour of her house, which is what most rich white people, sorry, not rich white, what most rich people will do if you've never been there. They will take you on a tour of their house. Are you mad? That's what it gave me, Stephanie. It came off very hating like she the first fucking housewife to ever show us her closet. You hoes have meetings in your closets all the time. What are you talking about? Half the time, that's where y'all hang out, is in each other's closets, because it's so damn big. Stephanie, don't piss me off this season, because I do like you. Don't piss me off, okay? So then they have a conversation or whatever, and all of them, they sit down, they have a conversation eating, and they asked her like what she thought about Kary, and then it shows us pretty much flashbacks of the night that they was all at I think Stephanie's house or whatever, that, you know, Kary was just kind of doing the absolute most, telling her, you need to drink, 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 drink. I do not like Kary, and I stand by that, and I don't have to keep going on and on and on. But they said that pretty much when Kary is drunk, she's like a little bit out of control. Don't like her, not here for her. So then Dr. Tiffany invites them to dim sum. Dim sum, K Cameron, do you hear? Some, like S-U-M, dim sum. Okay, and yeah, invites them to do that. So, oh, I wrote that out of order. Anyway, so then we go over to Kary. I don't give a fuck about Kary. We're not talking about Kary. We're talking about her daughter. I fucks with the daughter big time, and I know a lot of people feel like Bravo is like being heavy-handed with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. But this is the thing. This is how I feel about it. To it come. It's, more so on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I can see, because of it kind of being Portia's storyline of people feeling like it's inauthentic. However, that is what happened last year. Last year was quarantine, BLM, and the crazy ass orange. That is what all last year was surrounded by. That's a fact. And then right now they're shooting, I believe this is like the summertime, and that's when the BLM marches were super, super, super heavy at that time. So it does make sense for it to be brought up. It would kind of be weird if they didn't bring it up, you know what I mean? But anyway, so her daughter comes back, whatever, the one who I couldn't actually stand because she had a badass attitude. But she has went to LA. Do you see what happens? This is what I want to say about this. Do you see what happens when you step outside of your bubble? Do you see that girl last time that she was around? Rude as hell, entitled, spoiled ass little white girl. That girl went to LA. She went to LA, came back. I'm pretty sure that shit was a complete culture shock for her. I mean, everything. Like, so she talked about pretty much how she's having a hard time being back home because, you know, in LA, she was really, really, of course, I'm pretty sure she got like a decent amount of black friends. It's LA, you know what I mean? She probably got a lot of different diverse set of friends now living out there. And she's like, you know, when I was out there, you know, I was really active, you know, helping with the BLM stuff. And, you know, so coming back here, I'm pretty sure for her it's just like like I said, kind of a culture shock to be like, oh my gosh, like, is this the shit I was really taking part of? She's like, I can't stand it. I'm going into house parties and I'm hearing the N-word, you know, from white people. I'm pretty sure it's probably just like it's probably like a really big eye opener for her to probably realize like, damn, this whole time I was really living here and doing the exact same shit that these people are doing and not realizing how it's actually affecting other people. That's why it really is important to step outside of your fucking bubble. Step outside of your bubble, because everything is cool, calm, and collected when you in that itty bitty insulated bubble. But when you step outside that shit, you see shit get real. That's, I feel like, what happened to Brandy. You so within your little Dallas bubble and you didn't even think about anybody outside of there. So I fuck with her daughter really heavy, just for, you know, I have so much hope for people that's like my age, younger. We gonna do the damn thing. We about to shake this shit up. So I was here for it, okay? But yeah, like I said, it's just hitting her like how terrible people really are in the world. And so then we go over to the dim sum or whatever. And we got Deandra. Deandra is telling everyone, you know, about how she had to go get a COVID test, you know, because she wasn't really feeling well. Now, mind you, why Deandra is telling the story, because she's, you know, at the dim sum with a couple of ladies. Kary and I think it's Cam was on their way, and Kary in the damn Uber, whatever they was in, like, oh my gosh, Deandra's just so over dramatic. She's gonna call me crying because she had to go get a COVID test. Oh my gosh, she's just so over. She's just so this. She just so that. Here's the thing. Even if Deandra was like this previous to this, then it would make even more sense as to why she's even heightened. Regular people who wasn't like that was feeling that type of way. Any and everybody who got sick last year, the first thing you thought is exactly what Deandra said, which is, oh my gosh, this is the big one. This is the big one. All right, it's getting serious now. Everybody thought that. It wasn't just her. And specifically with everything going on, I just feel like it's a slap in the face of people who actually do have COVID and everything else, and people who have this, who are asymptomatic. It's just a slap in the face for you to be like, oh my gosh, it's not that big of a deal. Bitch, but when one of your kids get it, or if you get it, or if your husband get it, I bet you it will be a good deal. See, this is the thing that pisses me off about Kary, and this is probably why your daughter was so aggravated with you, because see, you don't listen at all. You don't listen at all. Get the fuck out of here, kid. Get her out of here. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I love her daughter. Daughter, we're here. If her daughter sees this, we're here. It's your mama that I ain't got time for. Like, So then, you know, she comes in or whatever and is speaking, and just the whole night Kary was just taking digs at Deandra the whole freaking night, and it was really, really, really making me mad. Okay, so they start the dinner off, right? So Deandra is talking to Cam, you know, because she was like, Cam was like, you know, what's going on with you? She was like, well, you know, it's like the COVID testing, you know. She started telling her about her dad. Here comes Kary. You not even there. You smooth across the table. Oh, is she telling you that she's sick again? Oh my gosh, is she telling you that she's sick again? See, if I'm talking about something serious like that and you want to inject yourself into something I wasn't even fucking talking to you about, I would have flipped that whole damn table. I would have flipped the whole little rolly thing and I would have hit you upside your head. Mind your business. You don't even know what she was talking about. Stay the fuck over there. She gives me another person like, you run a moment. So let me get this. So you came on this show to come for Leanne and to get her off the show. So you were successful with that. Now you think you can come on here and be the new Leanne? Bitch, you got the game all the way fucked up, Kary. Nobody likes you for real. Nobody likes you. Niggas tolerate you. But don't nobody really like you on this show. The fans really don't. Trust me. I see the tweets. I see the comments. Nobody really likes you on this show. And you're coming on here, the same thing you tried to accuse Leanne of, you're now coming on the show and doing the same thing. Now, she talks about how her and Deandra was like, they was on the road together a lot. And okay, I can see that y'all probably getting on each other's nerves for that. But if you were on the road with her, wouldn't that make you be a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more, I don't know, nicer to the girl, since y'all probably got to know each other a whole lot better? No, you're fake as fuck. You're looking for a fucking moment. So fucking tired of you, okay? So then they kind of go around the table and talk about, I don't know, this little card. It was asking questions. Stephanie talked about how she used to be a social worker, which now it makes sense. I used to wonder, like, why is Stephanie, and I want to be like, Stephanie is super, super nice. Like, she's a really, really nice person. And it's not that you can't just be nice, but it makes sense that she was a social worker. That it makes all the sense in the world. But she pretty much talked about, you know, how she wants to kind of, you know, step out and do her own thing. Now, this is a little confusing because Stephanie, when you said that, I thought she was going to say, so I'm going to go back into social working, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to expand it and make it bigger. She said she was going to start a charity foundation. And no shade. That is beautiful. But didn't Leanne come on this show first season? It wasn't the whole first season was dedicated to the charity scene that's in Dallas, which is super, super big. So I don't know, like, I just feel like, Stephanie, that's not the way I look at it. That you starting your own charity foundation, to me personally, is not you really stepping out and doing your own thing, because I feel like anybody can really start a charity foundation. I think it would have made more sense if you was like, you want to know what, I used to be a social worker, so I'm gonna go back into doing that and then probably start my own like business, to start my own firm from doing that. Or, you know, so be a social worker but help people, you know, that's maybe like in lower classes. That to me would make sense more about you stepping out on your own versus starting a charity foundation, which is why I think Travis said next episode to her, so you're just going to be giving my money away. Because that is how it comes off. That's not really you stepping out on your own. That's just my opinion. And then we get to the whole thing about the chicken foot and Cam not wanting to eat it or whatever, and I don't feel like you forcing me. Okay, and on one hand, I do feel like Dr. Tiffany was being a little pushy when it comes to the whole thing about eating the chicken foot. But at the same time, I feel like Cam was being a little elitist and very, I feel like a child a little bit to me about how she was handling it. Like taking the plate and putting it on the floor. That's childish shit. You're a grown ass woman. If you didn't want to eat it, you could have just kept saying what you said, which is, I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it. You could have just left it on the table. But that just gives me very childish vibes and very, you're like, you're a punk for real. Like, you're scared. Like, you're scared of Dr. Tiffany. And I wish you would throw something in Dr. Tiffany's face the way that you did Brandy. Because I always wanted to talk about that. But that thing, I think it was last season or whatever, or maybe this, I don't know what season it was, but whatever season Cam was going back and forth for Brandy, and she threw that towel on her face. I said, oh, you lucky. This is Real Housewives of Dallas and not another Real Housewives, because you would have got snatched across that table, okay? So yeah, oh, the only other thing I wanted to say is I did not like the comment that Stephanie said when they were first talking about, that's why it's back up here, because when Dr. Stephanie was first talking to them about doing the the dim-sum or whatever, and she was talking to them about chicken foot, which also I want to say, chicken feet is not something that I've only heard from like Asian people, like a lot of people in the South, which is weird to me that y'all never heard of it, in the deep South, like my people's from North Carolina, they used to eat chicken feet all the time. They eat pig's feet. Like, it's just a little confusing that y'all have never heard of that before when y'all in the South, because I thought that that was more of like a that was an Asian and a Southern thing, but whatever, that's just me. But Stephanie was like, when she said, "Oh yeah, we eat the chicken foot," she was like, "You guys are nasty." I don't like that comment because it comes off, I don't want to say racist, but it comes off borderline racist, and it comes off very I don't want to say insensitive, but kind of like that. It's just kind of like, just because, put it like this, just because something is different, that doesn't mean that it's nasty. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something different, but you don't have to say, "Oh, you guys are nasty." Like, that's just such a fuck. It comes off so xenophobic. It's like xenophobic to me. Like, it's just, toe the line carefully, Stephanie. Just be careful with you making comments like that, because I didn't like that shit at all. You could have just simply said, "Oh, it's different. It's not nasty." And how is it nasty when you've never tried it before? It wasn't the chicken foot. It was the ball testicles or whatever. You're saying people who look just like you, Stephanie. Let's make this clear. People who look just like you, Stephanie, have been on Fear Factor since the year 2000, eating ball testicles for money. Just saying. That's all I got. These hoes get on my nerves. I'll be back later for 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is gonna be a long day. My goodness.